Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is where you are joining me for this short mobilizing Pilates class. I am Kat, for those of you who haven't joined me in the yoga studio before, and it's great to have everyone on the mat with me today, so thank you. So today we are focusing on mobilizing our joints. So when not much strength work for today, we're going to get ourselves moving. So flexibility is when we think about stretching the muscles. Mobilizing is going to get the muscles to move to help move the joints. So we're going to get started with the roll down. So if you've got a mat, we're just coming to the back of the mat to start. Feet are just a little way underneath the hips. Take a couple of breaths in and out as you stand at the top. Check in with the breath as we're using the breath as we move through our mobilization. And then nice long slow breath in. And as you breathe out, drop your chin to your chest. Start to follow. Weight down, round with the rest of the spine. Maybe a nice big bend in the knees as you come down towards the floor. Breathe in. And then breathe out, tuck the tailbone under, round all the way up. Breathe in at the top as you find yourself neatly stacked. And then breathe out, take it back down again. So chin to chest, curl towards the floor. Rounding through the spine, maybe feel a few little pops and cracks as we go. A little bend in the knees there if you want it. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Round back up. So we're looking to get plenty of movement through the line of the spine. So bend your knees as much as you need to help you to come down towards the floor. If you're doing it with straight legs and this is as far as you can go, then bend the knees so you can keep moving then further down towards the tailbone. And then as we come up, we can really tuck under with that tailbone. Maybe a little bit of work for the core, drawing the belly in here. As we round all the way back up. So let's go for a couple more. So rounding all the way back up. We're going to use our movement to bring us down then towards the floor. So breathe in, breathe out, drop the chin, round towards the mat. Then start to walk your hands out across your mat or your floor space. And you find yourself in your plank position. You can drop your knees here, it doesn't have to stay lifted. And we will just take a few breaths in plank. I know I said there's not going to be much strength work, but we can squeeze a little sneaky plank in on our way down to our next mobilizing exercise. Just keep breathing here. Drop the knees, come out of it whenever you want. We're going to hold for 3 more breaths if we can. And then the knees are coming down. And we're going to walk the knees in so we can come into tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Rock over the wrists and then rock back through the toes. Rock forwards over the wrists, flatten the feet. Rock the hips back. So we're going to move through the wrists and then the toes and the soles of the feet and then the wrists and the ankles. So we actually start to build up a little bit of movement through joints right at the end of our extremities. Just one more time, rock back, stretch through the ankles, and then sit back onto the feet if you can. You can turn your feet round if you need to, and draw some circles with the wrists. We've just got our hands together if we can, arms together, and then back the other way. Open and close the fingers. So we've done our toes, now we're doing our wrists and our ankles, do the fingers, and then back into that all fours position. So thinking about moving with the spine, so we're going to come into our cat stretch. So breathe out, round up. As you breathe in, tailbone tucks under, or up towards the ceiling rather, and we stretch the other way. So breathe out to round, breathe in to arch. So finding that mobilization, movement in the spine between the vertebrae. But we've not just got the rounding forward movement. This time we've got the arching movement as well. And then come back into a neutral position. We're going to stay here in our tabletop position and take the right leg up. Draw some circles with the right hip. So as you breathe out, start to circle round. Breathe in, finish your circle. So this is going to mobilize the hip, but we might also then notice a little bit of work through the glute muscles here. So remember we said we're using the muscles to help the joints move. So that does mean there is a little bit of strength work, even though it's not a full-on strength class. And then circle back the other way. So breathe out, start to circle. Breathe in as you finish. So it's not the knee circling round, it's the hip. So as then as the hip circles, obviously the rest of the leg is going to follow. I'm going to aim for 2 more circles in this direction. And then take the knee down. Sit back for a moment if you do need it, just to shake those wrists out. And then we're back into tabletop and we're going to circle around with the other side. So take the left leg up, keep the knees bent, and then make those big circles from the hip. Remember, breathe out, start to circle. Breathe in as you start to finish. One more in this direction. And then we're going back the other way. Just seeing how far you can circle around with the left hip. And take the knee down. Sit back, maybe take a moment in child's pose. Move and shake out the wrists again. And then we're going to come to lie face down on the floor. So this is our Swan Dive. We're going to get some movement into arching through the lower back. So we've done our cat stretch, we rounded up. We've done our roll down, we just curve. This is getting the movement now, arching back the other way. So when you're ready, breathe in. Use your muscles in your back to start to pull the chest up. See how far you can go, and then breathe out. Let that down. So breathe in. Take it up. Breathe out. To lower. So don't worry about how far you come up. Even if it's just that you're on the elbows, we're still getting movement into the lower back. One more. And then push yourself back. Again, we could just take a moment just to have a quick stretch through the back in child's pose. And then we're going to come round to sitting and into our hamstring stretch, which is a bit like a forward fold in yoga. And all the movement is coming from the hip joint. So nothing's moving, or we're trying not to move anything in the spine. So the hands are in line with your legs are roughly in line with the hips. We want the legs to be as straight as we can manage. So if you're not super good at being able to sit with straight legs, put a little cushion or a rolled up blanket or towel underneath the knees. If we've got a big bend, then we're not going to be moving very far through that hip joint. So breathe in. As you breathe out, wriggle the fingertips forwards. Breathe in, sit yourself back up. So breathe out, fold at the hips. Breathe in, slide yourself back up. You're not using the arms to push us up here. So I'm going to aim for 3 more. And then find a comfortable position to sit in. So that could be staying with the legs straight. You could put a little bend in the knees or put that cushion in under the knees if you prefer. I'm just going to twist the head one way and twist the head the other. So finding a little bit of mobilization then now for the neck. Breathe out, twist, back to the center, breathe out, twist, come back to the center. Go for one more. Come back to the middle, and then tilt the head one way, back to the center, tilt the head the other. Seeing how far you can bring the ear towards the shoulder. Maybe finding that the neck's feeling a little tight today. And then back to the middle. And we're coming down towards the floor. So open the arms out to the side, and we're going to take a bend in the elbows. See if we can bring the backs of the arms and the hands towards the floor. No worries if they don't get there, if you feel like you're up at the, pointing the fingers up towards the ceiling. If you find you can't actually get your elbows down, then do put a little bit of padding in underneath them to bring the floor to the elbows, so they're not having to hold the arms there. Then, as you breathe out, roll the arms to point the fingertips towards the floor, rolling through the shoulders. Breathe in. Take the arms back. So breathe out, roll forward. Breathe in, roll them back. Let's try for one more. Roll forward, and then roll them backwards. And then stretch the arms back behind you, and sweep the arms all the way down through by your side. Hug the knees up in towards your chest. And we're going to roll from side to side, and then open the arms out so they're making a T shape. Drop the feet towards the floor, and we're going to do exactly the same thing, then rolling the knees from side to side instead of the hands. As you exhale, roll the knees one way. Inhale to the middle. Exhale, roll the knees the other. Finding that sideways movement, then now through the body rather than a forwards and backwards movement. The last one round to the left. Come back to the middle, stretch the arms and the feet away from each other. And then as you breathe out, swing the arms round. Heel up through the floor and come all the way up to sitting. So we're going to breathe in, stretch both arms up. Breathe out. Release the arms back down by your side. Okay, good. So that was our little mobilizing Pilates class. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then give it a thumbs up. Remember, you can always subscribe to the channel as well, so you know when our next videos come out. And you can join me again on the mat. All right, take care then now. Bye.